tonight, honoring your husband. Hello and welcome to the First Lady of Music, Beyonce.
Davis party is always a highlight of Grammy weekend. The anticipation for the big show on Sunday reached a fever pitch with just the mention of two names. We hear that Beyonce and Jay-Z are opening the show. What's your reaction to that?
About time.
Ooh, that's going to be hot. That's going to be fantastic.
I think that's awesome. You know, when you have two amazing artists that have great chemistry, you know, to open up, I think that's amazing.
If you know anything about the music industry, you know that right now there is a massive struggle for the throne Clive Davis left behind. While everyone's still talking about the damage he caused, Wendy Williams just went on record with something much more dangerous. Beyonce and Jay-Z are aggressively positioning themselves to take his place. And according to her, they're pulling every string in the industry to make it happen. And when you think of the things that's come out about Jay-Z and Beyonce this year alone, it's not hard to see why they would want the protection and security that comes from Clive's seat. But before we go into that, let's talk about Clive Davis a bit. The internet has been rightfully calling out the role he played in the downfall of some major artists like Phyllis Hyman, Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, and grooming predators like Diddy to take his place. Some even said that maybe Clive wasn't as great at his job as the media would want us to believe. Let's take Whitney, for example. Clive has worked with other artists, but Whitney is his biggest claim to fame, and it's fair to say that she was lightning in a bottle. She had a voice that was going to shine no matter where she was, and Clive just happened to be the one to sign her. Word is that he initially didn't want Whitney to do The Bodyguard, because he believed that going the acting route would do her career no good. It was only when he heard the soundtrack for the movie that he got on board with it. For some, it looks like his whole idea was to whitewash black artists to get them mainstream. That's why he couldn't handle Phyllis Hyman, since she wasn't willing to whitewash her sound and image. Folks also pointed out that he's tried to model other singers like Shanice, Jennifer Hudson, Monica, Leona Lewis, and Deborah Cox after Whitney, but eventually gave up once he realized that it could never fully be replicated. However, whether you think Clive Davis was a legendary music executive or not, one thing everyone agreed on was that he had power and control that extended far beyond his career in Columbia Records, and made him one of the most untouchable men in music. Media was much tighter and controlled in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s than it is now. And even then, we knew the FBI investigated him for payola and heroin trafficking in the 70s. He was also charged with multiple counts of tax and was fired as the president of Columbia Records for allegedly misusing corporate funds. Right now, it's all but confirmed that he was Diddy's mentor, turned him into a DL man, and let loose a monster on the black community.
The other part of that is we never talk about what Clive Davis did to Milli Vanilli, because those were young black men, but they looked a certain way and they were too pretty. But we have these big old fat black guys that can really sing. So we're gonna have them sing, but we're gonna put Milli Vanilli up. And then when it got discovered that the scam was happening, Clive Davis didn't lose a Grammy. Milli Vanilli did. Clive Davis wasn't shunned. Milli Vanilli was. Clive Davis went on and made Bad Boy, made J Records, gave Usher a record deal, built LaFace Records, did everything he wanted to do without any consequence or recompense to what he did to those young boys who were out front through no fault of their own, who were forced into that situation, and the fat black kids who were in the back singing.
When Diddy's RICO case was going on, there were rumors that the raid was done to cover the trails leading to Clive and other music executives, since they were growing increasingly worried about Diddy's antics. Word is that Clive may have encouraged Cassie to file the lawsuit, which explains why she was confident enough to do it, since she knew there was someone backing her. If this is what we know, can you imagine the things that haven't come out yet? And apart from Clive being able to go scot-free, everyone was really scared to go up against him. No one wanted to rub him the wrong way, because he would basically ruin your career with one phone call.
Oh, they claim he was one of the most evil producers in the game, right? Remember when TLC held him hostage in that bad contract? Oh, all right. Remember Whitney passed away the night before the Grammys? There's supposed to be his name around it. Remember they asked him about a whole bunch of stuff about P. Diddy? And he didn't say nothing? What does Clive spell backwards? Rest in peace.
There were also benefits to being on his good side, since you'd get attention and resources from your label that most artists would only dream of. And with Clive finally gone, there are a lot of questions over who is going to be in charge. Now for Wendy, there is no doubt in her mind that Jay-Z is one of the gatekeepers when it comes to the music industry. He is a rapper who pivoted into the business side of music, did the smart thing by marrying Beyonce, and together they built an empire where anything can be exchanged for money and power. The Carters are music royalty, and a lot of artists feel the need to kiss the ring and suck up to them, even when they have pretty solid careers of their own. But recently, their image has been taking a public nosedive. Yeah, the Beehive is ready to ride at dawn any day, anytime. But the internet has slowly realized how the Carters have been moving behind the scenes. Nicki Minaj has been calling out Jay-Z for a minute for scamming her after he sold his stake in Tidal and only offered her $1 million for her share when she was owed much more. She also called him out for blocking her new music since he's still salty that Lil Wayne, Drake, and Nicki refused to sign with him. Rihanna was not having it with Jay after her Anti album got leaked on Tidal just to draw more eyes to the platform. He ruined the album rollout of one of his most profitable artists for his own pockets, and since then, Rihanna has refused to drop another album. People have also brought up how quick Jay is to sell out Black culture, like how he threw Colin Kaepernick under the bus despite previously supporting his activism and his involvement with the development of the Barclays Center that drove up property values and rents. For someone who grew up in Marcy projects, people were surprised to see how quick he was to involve himself in something that pushed out local businesses and Black families from their neighborhoods.
Say it. We know why he don't like Drake. Jay-Z don't like nobody. That's the word on the curb, Uncle Ho. They say you don't like nobody. If somebody starts to get a little too this, that, and the fourth, you making a call. You making a call. You making a call. That's all I'm saying. Everybody say you make a lot of.
The jig is up. Yo, that was crazy.
Everybody know. Everybody knows. We know now.
Jay also got talked about quite a bit in the Epstein files, where Jeffrey and his friends spoke about how they admired his business model. In one email, they basically said that the only reason why America doesn't see Black people protesting a lot is because they've been bought off by Jay-Z. And the story gets more complex with Beyonce. She's faced much darker allegations of witchcraft and accusations of stealing from other artists. There were even rumors that she and Jay made sure that there was no competition with Beyonce and stifled any artist that could have come for her spot. Beyonce's image is still strong, but it's no denying that there's been cracks. Now Beyonce and Jay-Z's desperation is through the roof. They saw what happened to R. Kelly. They saw how Diddy fell just like that, and can definitely see the handwriting on the wall. The thing is, they always want to be 3 steps ahead of their peers. And the next best thing is to make the connections, call in favors, and climb the hierarchy until they get to that place where everything is working to protect them.
The same thing that people look down on R. Kelly for, Jay-Z was engaged in the same type of activity. So my only point was, why y'all still honor him? Because y'all think he didn't, or because y'all don't know? Like, some of the facts was out there, like his artist Foxy Brown, you know what I mean? Even his business partner Dame Dash said he never wanted to sign Foxy Brown or didn't want dealings with her because of her age. But Jay-Z signed her. He had songs with her where they talking about sex and stuff like that, and she was only 15.
That's why they put Blue Ivy to work, got her appearing on red carpets, and crowned it with her debut at the Met Gala. But that hasn't worked out as well as they thought. If anything, people have been calling out her mature styling as inappropriate for a teenager. People were also side-eyeing Beyonce when she said that Blue was ready. Like, what exactly is she ready for?
What's been talked about the whole night. B is here. Beyonce is officially here at the Met Gala. Now, B, it's been 10 years.
10 years.
How does it feel being back?
It feels surreal because my daughter's here.
And Blue looks so beautiful.
She looks so beautiful. This is it's incredible to be able to share it with her, and I think she looks so incredible.
She looks so beautiful. I'm like, we could learn some red carpet tips from Blue.
Absolutely. She was ready.
She was ready.
According to Wendy, insiders confirmed that the Carters also came up with a plan to signal to the elites that they still have the Black community in their pocket. The first thing they did was announcing Jay-Z's deal with Target for the exclusive release of the 30th anniversary edition of his debut album, Reasonable Doubt. Remember, the Black community agreed to boycott Target after the retailer went back on their DEI initiatives, and up till now, they have been pretty consistent about not giving Target any of their coins. But If Jay can single-handedly bring the community back to Target and end the boycott, that's enough to prove their hold over the community and shut down anyone who would speak out against them. Still, even that hasn't been working according to plan. The Black community isn't biting the bait, and they are like Jay can count them out of whatever stunt he wants to pull. Girl, the Carters have always been about the hustle, and Jay even said in one of his songs, "Can't knock the hustle," that no one can criticize him for the way he makes money. But there is only so much people can take before they start to call out the BS. They want to sit there on stage, collecting awards and talking about Black excellence, but behind closed doors, they are ripping off their own artists and bankrupting them. And for Wendy, if this is what the Carters do with the power they have now, it would only get worse if they somehow find a way to take Clive's seat, because no one should be that untouchable. But what I really want to know is if you guys think Beyonce and Jay can actually claim Clive's spot, and who do you think would be his successor? Sound off in the comments and make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye baddies!